go. That's Jumbo Mammoth there. So I start to show off with this. I told you guys I'd be back on, but ran to Walmart and got water and gas and all that after their show. See a guy inside there. See the mammoth trunk coming down here. This is the back of the mammoth, and he's got all the, these guys were like mammoths where they didn't need mules for pack animals. They had a damn mammoth. Yeah, the F750. But there's nobody watching the live yet. But I got one thumbs up. Nobody watching. Huh. That's odd. Because usually, hey, Journeyman. You too watching. Yeah, after, what I've found here today and what I'm going to be finding here is that stuff that Forrest talks about, that, finding that arrowhead and touching it. And somebody touched that same thing thousands of years ago in the ancient archaeology and all that. That's the thrill of the chase. The thrill of the chase is that thrill of discovery, discovering ancient things and learning the ancient knowledge firsthand. That's what I'm the only one. I'm the only one that knows the Egyptian thing like that. That's an elephant trunk. That's where that came from. Do, 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 do. That's the elephant dance, right? And all these, there's just thousands of mammoth sculptures here. And I'm looking on Google Earth, I'm like, oh my God, this is very extensive. And what's up on the mountain is hard to climb and all that. But what's over here is easy to climb and easy to get to. Lots of wonderful stuff. I was trying to, like I said, I took so many pictures and I was going to rotate them so I could run the slideshow. I still haven't got them all rotated. I took so it's all like 1,800 pictures. Over 1,000, 1,500, 1,800, way up there, way more than 1,000. And so I go through the pictures one at a time, and when I want to zoom in all I can, and sometimes you a portrait view, you're going to get the top and the bottom of the cliffside, and the panorama view, you got the bottom cup. So I'll do a portrait all the way across, and so all of those are sideways, and I rotate the pictures, and just one at a time. I could do it in File Manager and flip them all, a whole bunch of them right or a whole bunch left, and but yeah, I'll let you watch while I'm flipping some. Maybe you'll see something you like. And get this. It's like a flexible aluminum stand. I bend it to get the view I want there. So now we'll go this way. Well, I'll do the full screen. Now I'll zoom in with the pictures. You can see all the bottom here is all blocks. And you already see the heads popping up. There's a head there. There was one over here. I see right here. There's the nose, eyes. There's another face here, profile. Another face next to him. There's a mammoth head here in a trunk. And this is, and you see there's figures across here. Those are people and elephants, and so I'll go to the next one and I flip it that way, and you see right at the top of this one, I'll show you here. You see this See her there? And there's another figure there. There's another one there. Is that a door? No, that's another face. It's flat. It was probably painted on there. And when I enhance, when I try and bring out the old colors, you'll see it. But there's a guy in here. You see these? There's a couple figures in here. There's a head here. But you see a head here and a head here. And there's one in between them. There's people. There's two people in there. These are their heads, their bodies. So yeah, we'll never know what was painted on there, but a lot of the sculptures are there. See these figures here. Ooh. So you see, this guy must be a king because he has a big hat on. Oh, that's not a hat. That's another person, and a face on them right there. You see the mouth and the eyes, but is that what it is, or are there's several people across? They're in a canoe, I think. And the thing is, you're just looking at one small thing at a time here, but this thing covers square miles. You see the elephant head here coming down, and the trunk coming down here. The trunk comes down here. Ooh, what's this little niche? It's just a dark, there's no hole in the mountain. That's the eye of a mammoth. That's another mammoth down here. And that was his eye. Tilting the camera a little more that way. There, you see? That's another mammoth head in his eye. There's somebody standing there. I don't know. This is some of the weirdest. It's great for a movie set. If they were going to do a movie for something way back in time or some pirate treasure hunting movie, this would be the place. See this guy over here on the left. This one here. There's somebody in the crack there too. There's always people in the cracks. Animals outside. I think, I don't know what, rabbits or what, they mess with his leash that's leaning against the side of the RV. So yeah, I took so many pictures and there's so much stuff. You see, this is a mammoth head coming down here. And across the near his forehead or top of his trunk, you find these figures that are hugging the mammoth. See, there's a head there, and a head here, and a head here. These are people, there's somebody in here. They're there hugging the head of the mammoth. That's why when I can, I try and get pictures of me hugging a mammoth. Or that's the thing. They were mammoth huggers. They were wondering if they hunted them to extinction. These people didn't. Maybe people at a later time. You see these figures in here. Is that my... Nope, that's the computer LCD doing that. So flip that up. And you see, there's going to be something in here. There's somebody in there. And there's somebody here right next to him. Look at that hand right there. There's a hand. See all the fingers? There's the figure there. He's got his hand in his face. See the hand coming up? He's got two eyes and a nose. It just goes on and on and on and on. So you know what Forrest said. He says whoever finds it is gonna look all over for it. Which of these figures means it's it? You see, there's a guy in here walking across there. There's two eyes, dark hair, white skin. Some of these are pretty rough, and it takes. But you see, this is like a row of people standing there, or a row of elephants, or you know, they're both. You said it was a human, and then you said it was an elephant. Well, there's humans on top of the elephant. Here you see this curled thing here. This is an elephant trunk curled there. So it's the end of one, or somebody's head too, and there's a face in there. There's a big head there too, here, right here too, isn't there? Sometimes I see more on the phone screen than the computer screen. Sometimes I see more on the computer things on the computer I don't see on the phone. Yeah, see, there's this guy in here. There's his head. His arms are up or something. And there's a body laying here. See, there's a face looking up at my finger, and then the body laying there on this ledge, and maybe that's two people there. Yeah, see, there's this guy and this one. There's somebody back there too. There's just too much going on. Yeah. This is you know the movie American Treasure, Book of Secrets? Well, this is even bigger. This is American National Treasure, National Mammoth Treasure. Yeah. And I like this nose. See, there's a face right there, too. You see him. That's cool. And like I said, you'll see him. The people have one eye open, one eye closed, because then it's a mammoth head, too. See, that's a mammoth eye, and the trunk coming down and curling around makes the chin. So, they're very, very artistic. Great find. Also, prehistoric humans painted images of the animals on case. Yeah, I got their favorite animal was the mammoth. They had an obsession with the mammoth. Yes, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, when you say something like that, I don't know how long ago I said whatever you're replying to. But look, see this guy up here see, there's two figures in there. There's another figure down here. He's dark. Onward, onward. Look at all that. And you see right here, you see this guy here. He's obvious. And there's, what's that? An elephant trunk coming up and hooking. And there's another head right here. There's an eye. He's profile looking to the right. There's another face on the backside of him, too. And this big tall guy here. And there's another person next to him, and another one next to him. And then there's bigger figure. There's a face. You see where I'm going, man. There's just way too much. Guy from Nikon Professional Services told me, he said, "You got the eye." I got the eye. Yeah, I have a good eye for light in photography, and these pictures ain't been touched. they're right off my camera. I haven't even looked in this folder. Van Downing, good one. That would make a lot of sense. What if the uh, closed eye represents the eternal quest for knowledge? The way I think it more represents. I saw a video earlier today about the one thing in common with all the cathedrals installed. They have two towers, one eye, and three doors. And the two towers represent the sun and the moon. And so the one eye closed, you got one eye represents light and the other eye represents dark. And look at that guy up in the corner back there. See that guy hiding back there? I got pictures from other angles, so I go down the road, and every 100 feet I do a scan across the whole hillside, so that I get things that are back in the crevices and stuff. Look at this stuff. Look at these guys. That's Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams. No, who was it? Grant. Yeah, Grant. Do we have enough of them for a Mount Rushmore scene? Oh, I could imagine. What I want to do, is some of these pictures, these panoramas. It'd be awesome. I want to transform them into art, and transform them into what I thought it might have looked like originally. So I can have the original image, the raw image that I have here. I can have the art image and then a restoration image, and use projectors and project it on the walls, on these canyon walls at night, and take pictures of it. Yeah, I'm going to do I'm going to do that. I've already got pictures where I'm going to wrap my RV with art. See, look at this. This stuff back there. This stuff up here. You see the haze in the picture, the fuzziness of the picture, because it's a hill in the distance. You see these rocks nearer aren't so hazy, but these are far away. And so, it takes another day of exploring just to go look at this little area up there, probably. There's that thing from distant. But there's all kinds hidden in the forest. And is this another wall of mammoths? It is. See, that's a mammoth head, the trunk. It's not my same wall of mammoths. No, that's another wall of mammoths. Because my other one was on flatter ground. So there are many, many mammoth walls like I had in my. I'll get that on the screen here. Where is it? There. Nope. I don't want to crop. I want to drag. So these are. You see the mammoth. There's the eye. Here's the trunk coming down and curling up. And there's the end of his trunk with the pincher on the end. And he's holding up somebody's head. This is some guy's head. Eye, nose, mouth. Here's his ear. So that mammoth is propping that guy's head up. There's no fire near here. I don't smell any. Rifle is hundreds of miles away. I didn't get all the white out from behind the trees back there when I pasted the sunset behind it, or I actually blew up my sunset picture and then pasted this one on top. But you see here, this is a mammoth. There's an eye on a mammoth. Put the hand up there. There's an eye there with his trunk coming down. Here's another mammoth head, and the trunk goes down underneath, I guess. But this big mammoth has a trunk coming way out here. This mammoth, and there's figures here behind here. And now this is just the lead mammoth in the row. There's another mammoth here. You see the the head and the trunk curls down here. His body's back here. There's probably that's somebody laying on top of him. There are figures laying on top of the mammoths. And there are figures laying under the mammoths. I suddenly felt like a crippled ant in an elephant parade. And that's what I have for the heading on this. There's the third mammoth in the line. And you see the one behind him and one behind him. And then there's a person here. But that's a mammoth head down here. There's a person in this mammoth. Okay. So now back to the slideshow. Boom. Yeah, I got all this exploring there's just this is too much for one person to document. I need some documentary company, film company, should be very interested in coming here and seeing all this and producing something. You see, these are all block formations here. This is off in the distance, and you can see the stone work and stuff at the bottom. You see all the stones that they used to fill in, and I think there were overhangs like at Chaco or at Mesa Verde. They had the overhangs, except these guys put blocks and just enclosed the whole overhang underneath the hill, or these whole mountains are. They built the whole thing. Who knows? But you see, there's figures all the way across it. They didn't leave anything alone. Oh, I was really zoomed in for that because that was like one of them back ones here. Yeah, there's stuff closer. Like, look at, you see the face in here, and it's sitting there. There's somebody else sitting on top of them. And they're laying there. They're resting in peace. They're going in peace. They've gone in peace. And they left this here. It's been there for 14,000 years until Bill Gorman came along, or Forrest Fenn came along, wrote a poem to tell you how to find it, how to return to where warm waters halt at the end of the Ice Age, when it was cold water, and the Ice Age ice came down to just north of here. So that's maybe where warm waters halt, and then it was all Ice Age frozen ice cap above that. You see the guy here. There's people here. There's the guy here with his arm. He's pointing. Oh, it's and Forrest says he loves to find learn the ancient stuff of what people did in the olden days. What did they do in their spare time in the olden days? Here you see the head here, and this is curve. These curves like this tell you mammoth trunk initially, but it's also see somebody sitting here. Their knees, their head, their body, their knees. He's sitting there in a throne. Let me see. Let me block off. Let's see. And there's a guy right in there. You see, there's an eye, a nose. There's more people behind it. It's like a fractal. Yeah, and you know, look at the big picture, and when you zoom in, it just more and more stuff as you go in. Look at this. This guy's pretty obvious. See his head? And look at the mammoth inside there. You see the mammoth inside? The eye, the trunk coming down. Maybe it's a baby mammoth or, you know. But that's also three people standing. One, two, three. The three wise men. There's heads across there. I did run my GoPro the whole time I was out today, so that there's a few hours. Put three batteries altogether. I know something right here. You see right here, look. Isn't that cool? And this guy, the eyes, and he's a mammoth too. That's a mammoth head. So one eye and the trunk coming down, and this guy's hugging him, holding him. And you see, let's look at his eyeball. He's got eyelashes. And there's somebody inside there waving at us. Yeah. When I see him waving, I wave back. Hey, how you doing? And I think they seen me hugging the mammoths today. I always hope these ancient people are around, and you gotta try and please them. Is that Betty Boop? And this guy here, look at he must be a king because he has a crown. Oh, we looked at him earlier, huh? See, I taken pictures of him from multiple angles. This is yeah, we looked at these three guys too. What way are we going? This is, the format is all the way across there. And this wall is a mile long. Okay? There's another piece of it. So I take the pictures. Look at this guy. This is cool. Wow. And look, see the head on the right over here. This kind of stuff Forrest Fenn loves. That's why he said that if he was still in the art business, he would like to handle my art. Why would he like to handle my art? Because it's his art. This is his thrill of the chase art. And the thrill of the chase is learning those things that happened long ago that nobody else knows about. Oh, what was somebody saying here? Hi, Kyle. Okay. Kyle, something like that. Oh, how much time you spend going over your photos? I'm gonna have so many by mid-September. I might not get to go over them all before the spring snow melt. Because right now I'm looking at it, and what I do is I find something like this, and I open a picture with my paint shop program. Look at that. Yeah, you see, this is a walk. You walk up here, and then you walk up there. Zigzag. I went up on there. Where's a good one I can use for an example? Well, that's my little logo. It's transparent, so I copy that and paste it on top. You see the checkers are that's so when I copy it, all I'm copying is the logo, and I can paste it in all my Trouter. Because over the winter I'm going to play around. I'm going to redo my logo where the fish are animated and swimming through all the letters. Or if we get a TV show about it, you know, I think it needs to be a reality show of going out and making firsthand discoveries of it. There's the F. Still just waiting for some materials from the other Kyle. Or it's still there, just waiting. Okay. What happened to your channel? Oh. Okay, so I'll go and open one of those. Which one was that? Number 405. So, yeah, I got a few hundred before I get down, finish rotating all the images in that to run the slideshow. Open 405. Yeah, I think it's in this folder. 617. My old IBEW local. 405, 421. That's cool. Well, well, I saw there's some nice heads there, and I let go of the mouse, and it went somewhere else. I want to find a nice picture here to. Ooh! Look at this. Okay, so I take that, and then this is all I do is I do smart photo fix, and I go over here and I increase the saturation, and I decrease the shadows, and make it a little dark. I want a little darkness because I want this dark to turn almost black, because what it was a paint that's faded and turned gray, so I want to get it as black as I can. So I do that. I do that twice. And you see those colors came up when I turned the saturation up. Less brightness, and we go okay. And now we're going to be able to see what's in here a little easier. Like this guy in here. See, there's a face in there. See? Yeah, you can see eye. See, one eye open, one eye closed. Because every human head is a mammoth head. They thought the mammoths were humans, I think. Look at these guys, see floating in there. This guy in there. And that's from increasing the saturation. There's a big skull, huh? You get some funny looking stuff going there. And there's a guy there. There's two people. There's another person. There's somebody upside down, isn't it? It's a whole body. There's a foot, leg, body, arm. That's weird or something in there. Something weird there. Look at this guy. Eh? He's got weeds growing out of his eyes or across them. Okay. But so, that was one example. I want to find a different one. So I want one I can Ooh, is that the one I just did? Huh. See, I'll open that. That one I've already full. See, that's somebody there. Say hello. Hello to the Clovis people. And you see his eyeballs? Let's go closer to his eyeballs. That's two more people. There people standing in his eyeballs. And they're standing on somebody else's head down there. You see him? His eyes. And the mammoth heads. You see the mammoth heads. The mammoth eye in his head, big trunk, and there's a smaller mammoth in front of him. And there's people in the background. So what I do, I take those and I put them into this program, and boop, out comes the artwork. That it like looks at the painting and you tell it, okay, if Picasso's seen this, how would he paint it? Stuff like that. And a lot of time the mammoth will have a head on each end. Because who wants to look at a mammoth ass? So these are my some of my art files I've made. He's pirate looking, isn't he? Oops, smile. There, he's big face. Now here you can see the people going across here. There's there's a whole row of people going, and there's another taller row behind them. I wonder how big a mammoth pie was. They had some mammoths that that were only like 4 feet tall. They had small pygmy mammoth. I believe it was. Now here, this is a cool one. Because you got this guy face. How many faces are overlapping faces? They're right here. There's probably 10 faces right in that one face. Poke him in the eyes. So the art program sees the shapes of the and it just colors what's already there. It's Forrest hiding the treasure. When he says he'd like to find a letter from his father to his mother before he was born, or whatever, before they married or whatever, this is similar. This is finding a letter that's 14,000 years old. And here you see there's somebody's head here and somebody else here holding his head. Or is that the end of a this is the end of a mammoth trunk in the grabber. Like they have a hand on the end of their trunk, a 2-finger hand. And it's holding the guy up, propping up the guy's head. They love their mammoths. That's the same thing, different process to it. You can tell to see the same face. This same face will be there, with different coloring and all. See him standing there? There's his hand, there's his head, his body, and his legs, and his arm up. There's another person here below him. There's another person down there. Um, so I make my art from my pictures. So you see this guy. Oh, I guess we ran out of them on that page. And this is a really cool one because there's a face there. Oh, there's face in there too. And there's a face there. And there's a face in the back. There. And there's face, one looking this way, one looking that, or four looking this right to the left, and it's that I ran that one through several different. So that's the same picture put through and comes out either like that. What one process comes out like that, the other one comes out like that. But you see the human figures don't change. If you put a picture of your face in there and ran it, you'd see. And so I have these different colors, and what I'm going to do, I've only printed a few. I've got hundreds, or really, I have thousands. I think 5,000 of these so far that I've turned into art. I always wished I could go back to those ancient times. Yeah, when I see this stuff, I think, boy, I would love to have seen this when it was fresh, when it wasn't ancient art, when it was just brand new. Oh, why did it do that? I didn't get to the end, did I? I'll go down here. So, yeah, there's a lot in there. I can't zoom in on this. This is you see the legs here, the dress skirt, and the face in here. Got a hat or something. There's a figure there, and there's another guy. There's a guy here. There's his face and his arm, and he's like holding. And I think that's a mammoth too. The trunk coming around her. The blue thing is the trunk coming around her, holding her. This is up on the top, right where I'm camped. It's right above me too. Ben Downing was watching an episode on Colorado PBS. They claim Colorado had the most amount of Clovis and Folsom man history. This was a major place. This is where they went in the summer. It got too hot in Arizona. They came up here because it barely gets, it gets in the night. You don't get 100 degrees up here. They go to the mountains. The Garden of Eden was at the top, high in the mountains at the top of the world. And that's what we have here in Colorado. It's the Garden of Eden. And this, you see that this is somebody's butt, and that's their head. They're laying up there on top. And there's somebody laying on top of here too. And these are mammoth heads. It's the mammoth. This is, here's the guy with the beard, the two eyes, the nose, mouth, his head right next to him, another one next to him. But they're also mammoths. That's a one of the totem poles right near here. This face over here is somewhat obvious, and some in there and going across here. I think that's the one we were looking at earlier. That's the same. And you see the head here, the big red head, and there's this guy in the middle. And, it's what's his name? There's this the guy in there. There's this guy here. See that one head? He's part of another head too. So, um, just all kinds of stuff. Look at these heads. These faces all sticking out. Oh wait, I was thinking of the 16K. I think they evolved into the Native Americans we know today. Yes, the East Coast, they have found a lot of Clovis, he said. Wait, I was thinking of the 16K. Yep. Yeah, the East Coast, there are a lot of Clovis points they find in the mud and on the riverbanks, old Clovis settlements and stuff. You might find some of my ancestors' stuff there in the ground around Jamestown, but they won't let you dig that. That's a historic site. Okay, going back to the slideshow here. And you see these? You go in here and look, see there's a head on the top there looking out. "24 megapixels." This two-head guy, there's a head there. See, there's somebody laying there, bent over. See, here's an example. This guy's standing here. He's bent over. His head, right there, is leaning against the head of this mammoth here. That's a typical mammoth worshiper. Like that. Look at that head. Huh? Does it get better? I'm not seeing. Okay, so yeah, see, this is a head here. That's an eye. It's a profile. An ear. There's another face here. And I have one word for people that call it pareidolia. Pareidolia. You're an idiot if you call it pareidolia. You're just an idiot. There's way too much pareidolia. You don't get this much detail and these many figures depicting common. It's a common theme of mammoths and yeah, big smiley, huh? Right in the middle, big smiley head. That guy. And you see there's other figures that make up that figure. Like right in his eye, there will be something there. It's digitizing. This is my 70 millimeter, and my the 300 millimeter. You only get that much. So I do these so that I can make a panorama of the whole hillside. So that when I'm looking for the detail, I can tell where it is. Because a lot of, you know, I don't notice some of the figures when I'm there. I notice them after I get back and I'm looking on a computer like this, and I can find them. And then when I find the really cool ones and I want a better picture, get closer, I go back to my pictures and I figure out where I was that day, what area I was photographing, and I can tell because it's in sequence, and I have the picture of the whole ridge, and so I know that I was near that ridge when I took that picture. Um, are they waving? Those ones? There's so much stuff up there. This is one that was across the way, opposite of where I was, the main stuff I was looking at. And you see, here's what I'm saying. There's a gap underneath the rock here, and the places where they have a lot of stone stuff, it'd be a place like that, and then they brick off the opening, and so they could get inside there. And I think that I'm going to find some chambers someday. I'm going to find Enki's entrance to the underworld. Yes. And you know what? If I found Enki's entrance to the underworld here, I'd start moving all my shit inside there. I would move in. Yeah, I mean, because there's got to be a cavern or something. What I need is that the flare. Maybe Toby, you quit being an ass, and he can come up here in the winter, because what you want to do that in the winter, you want to use the flare to look for warm air coming out of underground chambers. Look, see, this what's in there? That goes down in there. Ooh. See, when I'm taking the pit, you're out there so long, and I'm just taking picture, picture, picture. Move the camera, take a picture. Move the camera, take a picture. And even this bubbly stuff, there's art in it. They've sculpted. And you see, these are the mountains that line up with the observatory for winter solstice. There are certain hills, and you get a winter solstice. This one back here is the main one, and boy, you see, that's really so far. It's real fuzzy because it's like 2 miles away, and what I need, or maybe 3 miles, so I need to go up there. Ooh, what's this? See, is that an arch or a tree in front of there? But this is like the whole community. These two towers, they were like, they built the fires, and it's the communication. They could let everybody know in the whole area. Gosh, and there's stuff way up there, way up there. See, there's all these figures here. But you see all the heads on top. Head, head, head. And I know there's murals on these things, but they're too far right now. That's probably half a mile or so. And some places I got pictures of just the side of the hill or the very top of the hill because I'm in a panorama program and put them together. Um, this is going to be neat to explore up there. Need a reality show discovering the Mammoth Temples. Because this is too much for one person to do it all on their own. This is a really cool spot here. See, there's some type of temple or look there. What's up here? What's that? There's something. A white block and a dark block. The sun and the moon. Light and dark. Night and day. So yeah, you're just watching me rotate pictures kind of now. And getting to see because there was no signal there, so I couldn't do a live thing there. But I did record some videos to edit later. I have a lot of stuff that if they did do a documentary, I got a lot of backlog video of what I did in the past. This is really cool down here. These figures and stuff. And you see the block work. These are all blocks. They put those in and stucco, mortar and stucco. And you see the person here sitting there, the arm coming from that way and arm that way, and they're sitting there. There's their butt and their leg. But it's probably a mammoth. There's a mammoth right here. So he's riding his mammoth. You see? Here's the mammoth head, and this guy's sitting on him riding him. This one here I'm saying is riding the mammoth. There's another person down below her. And up here you see all the blocks. These are stone blocks. There's two people there. One looking up and one looking straight at us. So they're laying on their side. And here's this guy. Is this guy the Pied Piper or what? He's on a. That must have been a mammoth, and the parts have fallen. What's this? It's dark in there, and that looks like a doorway, doesn't it? But that's climbing up the side of the hill to get there, because you got to climb up all this to get up there. And there's just so much stuff there. Ooh, look at him. Wow, look at that. Look at that rock hanging in there. So anybody daring enough to go off of this across that rock over to that rock, you'd step on this rock and it'd go teeter-totter, right? Yeah, that little rock right there. Woo! Yeah, that's cool. Okay, we got to show you a little more over there. Yeah. Turn the camera a little bit. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're gonna. What that means is I have 10% of my computer battery left. So let me put you on to those mammoths there, and trying to decide. You figure this out. Well, I go start my generator. You figure out if those are mammoths. Is Bill Gorman nuts? There's Bill Gorman find the American national treasure. Eh? Now you can probably hear my generator. There's a mammoth there. Here's one in the trunk curls there. And there's another mammoth here. There's a trunk coming down. There's a mammoth right behind him. There's one here. That's 3 mammoths. Back to the slideshow. And we got noisy generator going now. Rotate. Geez, it's just so. There's a lot of stuff that, and some you look at it for a while, and I had pictures like Fenn's totem. 2 years, a year and a half or 2 years. I never knew there was an elephant in there. I never knew there was a mammoth in there, and there are. See, that's a big head. There's the 2 eyes. Eh? What's he got in his mouth? He's got a weird looking mouth, man. But there's stuff on the wall there. These were all painted, and some of it you can turn the saturation up, and the old purples and blues come out. And I'll go back on that one to show you this. You see the mammoth on the left there. You see this figure down below, and you see the blocks. That's a Forrest Fenn. It's sitting on some dead guy's tombstone. These are dead guy's tombstones. It's not a cemetery. It's ancient ruins. They're tombs, but they didn't bury. They're memorial tombs. There's no bodies in them, so it's kind of not a cemetery. It's a memorial garden, we'll say. And really, some really nice stuff is down. I know I'm gonna find. I still got some major discoveries to make here. There's a David Knight here. Was it David Knight? Yeah, that guy from Sean's show, the only decent guy on the show, but he'll say stuff like me. So why is it okay for somebody on TV to say stuff off the wall, but it's not okay for Bill Gorman or David Knight or David Krause? Is it Krause or whatever? The David from the flip side. Oh, I come up with. You know where the flip side came from? Ooh, there's omegas. The flip side is it came from people that use both sides of the toilet paper. You wipe with one side, you flip it over and wipe with the other side. The flip side. They probably don't like that. Look at these legs on this thing. And see, he's got real long legs, and then, or maybe I'm not looking at the right body. That's this guy's, maybe this head, and these are his, I don't know. But there's probably a mammoth in there too. What was that area that was blue? I didn't see. There. Oh, there was just a dark rock there. No hieroglyphs, but look, see, there's something above them. There's things in there. Oh. Yeah, one thing, you know, a lot of the Fenn tubers, they present themselves as a, uh, you know, somebody like on lithium or something. You know, I have no attitude. But you know, of all the women I've ever dated and all the people I've ever known, every one of them can be an asshole at times, you know? So the people trying to call me the asshole and all that, and you know, they need to take a good look at themselves. Yeah. Yeah, his dad, and I've been looking for his dad sitting on a cloud. There's plenty of guys sitting on clouds here. Um, if you're high up in the mountains, you'd be sitting on a cloud. Sometimes the clouds are below you. We don't get a lot of that in Colorado. You go to California and you can go up in the mountains and you be above the fog and stuff. You don't see that much here. Who's that in here? That's cool. It's just an asterisk. See, he'd just be an asterisk left behind in a book that nobody reads. But I believe that I don't know how, you know, these ruins, if you follow Troy Barlow's proxy thing, these ruins opinion are the proxy. There is no bottle. It's the discovery of these ancient ruins. Ring the bell loudly. Tell the world about it. And I'm going to be fixing up my website soon to sell my art and stuff. So I got to work that out because I'm not a business person. So I need somebody to run the business. I'll make the pitch. I'm good at making the pictures and figuring out the poem and what Forrest is thinking. That's a big cool thing there. Look at that head. Isn't he cool? That head. Ew. Here's a mammoth head here. See the elephant head right next to him here? And there's another elephant head in the crack. They're just mammoths or elephants everywhere. There was a good watch a documentary on the mammoths, the age of mammoths or something, and it went into where they evolved from and all, and they all got them coming from Asia over here, and then what going back to Asia or would they come here and then they swam to Africa? I know what you think, Kyle. Okay, they're having their own conversations there. Fair enough. I've never seen anyone post. Oh, Kyle with a. I don't. I like the guy with the videos. The Fenn uh, loyalist, and I'm a Fenn loyalist also. I never do say anything disparaging or something to Forrest and that look at his beep beep on the nose, the eyes, the mouth. Um, I don't. I'm not going to discredit Forrest. Uh, Thinking it could be a contest, because he didn't lay out rules. There are no. He didn't put any rules out there. He has his own rules. Yeah, cool. The face above him too. Oh. Oh, rotated too much. That's the guy with the big nose again. Now, did we see this before? Yeah, I think we've been in the area. There's just so much cool stuff. This guy's cool here, huh? He's looking to the left. There's one of him looking to the right, too, probably. Um, There's a head here and a head here. Just split right between them. Is that the chute? This fire escape in between? You know what I mean? Brown streak. You're gonna look all over because the signs are all over the place. These are the signs you're looking for. You're looking for Forrest Fenn's stories in these sculptures. And we're talking an area that 60 miles by 20 miles. 6 times 2, 12. Yeah, what was that? 60, 20. Oh, oh, oh. 1,200 square miles. So, yeah, look at these figures up here on the rock. See, they're carved in the rock. You can see there's a figure in there. And some of these are like that was a. And some, either they constructed this stuff or they aided the natural what people call pareidolia. They were having some pareidolia, and they went and took other rocks or whatever and carved them into what they wanted, what they thought they looked like. They just assisted the natural formations and put their figures into it, what was already there. Otherwise, how long did it take them to move all that earth and build all of this? Look at it. See up on top? 2 feet coming out here. There's somebody underneath this block. Or no, those are 2 feet. There's a head in the bush. There's somebody laying there with their legs coming out. There's that head there's looking left. Look, see? Eye, nose. He's got a nose like Togo. Yeah. Oh, oh. Hold on, 11:54. How long have I been on? 1 hour and 15 minutes. Well, we're just doing a slideshow, right? Okay. See a guy in the middle there. That's cool. It's neat going up on when I've been up. See, this is a top, and when I've been up on top, I find holes going down into the rock. They're round holes, like there was a log in there or a pole. Some might have been flag poles, and I found this one. It was like a stage, and it had these holes in it, like they had flag poles maybe stuck in there, and somebody would give their speech from up there. Who knows what. Even Raquel Welch, they had the wrong wardrobe for 10,000 BC. What's going on here? This is something interesting here. You see, there's his head, and here's his arm and his hand. There's figures all across there. Oh. So yeah, these are right out of my camera. I'm just rotating them before I make panoramas and my war for me was and the waterfall says it all. Okay, yeah, like this stuff, and he'd go flying around looking for Indian shelters and stuff under rock cliffs and stuff. He saw this stuff from the air. You can see this stuff from the air. It looks like a bunch of giant bodies laying on the ground and stuff, and people like the jumping jack position. Evil of the poem. Whoops. But then I have to. Okay, doesn't look like anybody's asking me anything anyhow. So, been less than 2 months. Yeah. So, and my audience has dropped. People have gone to bed or I got boring. See, here's somebody here with a. It's the Grim Reaper. Well, I think I can do the. We're gonna go back here. This one. I'm gonna do this. Where you go? Is that? Yeah, I'll let you watch that for a little while. A little slideshow. The other folder, I got them. I think I got them all. See the face here. And these are figures up there. TV will brainwash you. Fake news on TV. Boy, all that you see, all the networks, they're all part of the deep state, and they're all paid off by the big central bankers. So Trump, we're going to take down all us patriots. Federal Reserve is going. It'll be the U.S. Treasury, you know. They don't need a bank, quote, bank, because all those people that run the bank, they choose who's going to make it and who's not. And they have their favorite people. And their favorite people apparently are the people that like to uh, engage in sodomy and, all those rich top of the oh yeah, I like that. See that face? That's badass there. Find a good looking rock. Find a substitute. Find a substitute for Yellowstone. Find a substitute for the Buffalo Cowboy car. Find a substitute uh, for him sleeping at his desk with Miss Ford waking him up. Find a substitute. Find a substitute for Montana. Find a substitute for Wyoming. If you go north of Santa Fe, where's the first place? Well, some people in New Mexico think that New Mexico's not a desert, but most of the search area in New Mexico is a desert. Sorry to say, it's a desert. Just about all of it. There's very little nice, beautiful, lush forest in New Mexico like there is in Colorado. See this guy down there? It's just badass. But most beautiful place in Colorado is that Pagosa Valley at the bottom of Wolf Creek, at the bottom of No Place for the Meek. You begin it at the beginning of his rainbow because you're looking for the end of his rainbow. You begin it at Rainbow Hot Springs, which is a 4.5 mile walk, which is too far to walk. So you don't even go there. You take the canyon down. So from the parking lot to Rainbow Hot Springs, you take it back down the dirt road to the Tari Scant, which is at below the home of Brown, and you'll find the gypsies and the kids climbing on the mountain, and a hint of riches, new and old there, or it's a hint of riches old is there, because it's Treasure Mountain and Treasure Falls. Treasure is bold on the map. It's one place where you'll find the word treasure on the map, and I've got my solution is rock solid. Go listen to JJ is it JJ McCall? The Wolf Creek Pass, McCall, Wolf Creek Pass. Does Treasure Falls fact? Yeah, that's treasure's bold. Find it on the map. Treasure is on the map. Show me a place in Yellowstone where it says treasure on the map. I'll show you a place in my solution that has treasure on the map in, I think, 3 places. And Brown's ranch is Bootjack Ranch. Recently he sold, after he sold it before he died, like 2010. He sold it right when Forrest wrote the book. And then he died in 2013. So the Brown is dead now. He's gone. That land doesn't belong to him anymore. But he was the initial one that put the multi-million-dollar house on it and multi-billion-million-dollar pool room. This part of Southwest Colorado is known for the treasures of gold and mineral content. Highest in Colorado. Treasure Mountain is known to be shaped like a hat. Why do you think he's doing the hat thing all the time? The hat in the creek, the hat with a hole in it. The Treasure Mountain is shaped like a hat, but they're all just still waypoints. These are, I mean, even after you get to the wood, when you get to the wood, you realize you're looking for the art, and you realize that you soon realize that it's these sculptures and this ancient art. This one, there might be a few thrown in there that are my little color enhance. Turn up the color is all. I don't go and change the pixels. I make the pixels more vibrant, and that's it. It's the same pixel. I didn't change the foundation of the picture. You can still go turn them black and white if you want. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. The treasure's bold. It's on the map. 3 times it's on the map. Yeah, Treasure Falls. Treasure Falls, it's like a giant Ronald Reagan head at the top, and his tongue going into the top of the waterfall, and the water running over his tongue. It's awesome. I have a video with that picture for the start of the video. Um, yeah, and Ben, you got it right. Yeah, there's a who is Journeyman. Yep, there's Treasure Falls, and when I went on to the Colorado weed maps, they showed. Look at this guy. There's a hit. He's sitting there, his arm and everything. Wow. But on Colorado weed maps, where Bootjack Ranch is, it shows the town of Treasure. It says Treasure right there on the map, and where it says Treasure on the weed maps map, it's not the falls or the mountain. It's in the valley, and I guess that valley was known as Treasure Valley, maybe. Bootjack Ranch is in Treasure Valley. But it's all private property. You can buy a 35-acre lot for $5 million. The weedmaps.com has treasure on it. I'm not kidding. I showed that in a video the other day. And listen, I can run that slideshow and chat at you and do whatever I want to here. Maybe a few Jack show up in there too. I tested him, letting him go loose and without the leash, and I got him a new doggy thing here, and you see it set up with the little speaker thing is set. Oh. So I've only had to use the little tone thing so far. I haven't had to use the shock button because he obeys the tone. He's a good dog. See, that's somebody's butt crack right there in their legs. Oh man. So, could Treasure be the old name of Pagosa Springs? No. Pagosa Springs. Pagosa Springs means smelly water springs. It means water that smells bad. You see the mammoths, mammoth heads. There's a couple people. Pagosa, pungent Pagosa. Look at this guy on the rock here. Oh, he's cool. There's some hieroglyphs. So, you see any animals? I see some animals that look like a bear. And look at this guy running, little striped guy. And this guy's doing faces in there, and faces here, faces up there. Seeing that's a mammoth head. There we go. And see, this is one I adjusted the color already. This one too. And this is a mammoth head trunk coming down the slope. Oh, you see the little mammoth there? Let me get the top a little more. It's missing a lot of the top of the screen. So I'm putting these up too, showing these pictures of these temples, part to document it. And wow, look at him! Look, that's cool. This guy, wow. It's my documentary on it, because there need to be some of these guys that you see on TV all the time. Oh, well, here's the pyramid, and the pyramid. You're supposed to be an archaeologist. Somebody already discovered the pyramid and already wrote all about it, the pyramids. Here's the brand new stuff. If you're a real archaeologist, you need to get your ass down here. Are you going to go to the event September 6th, Santa Fe? Yeah, I might go to it. And if Forrest would like, I can bring a whole bunch of high detail pictures and do a slideshow presentation there of these ruins. There's a bunch of people there. And did you see the omegas? You see the omegas? The mammoths are omegas. Look at that. That's bad. Bad. Look at the nose sticking out. Oh, that's cool. It's got two eyes. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, I moved my mouse. Get the brightness back up. All I have to do is turn the brightness up when it goes into, then it's, you touch the mouse and it comes back up, so. You notice the stones at the bottom of that wall where they had constructed, and you see all these look at that boom, people all along it. And people go by this stuff. Ooh, that's a neat little white cubby hole there. Like some kind of blaze. and the symbols on the rocks are blazes. Okay, these are blazes on the rock. that you got to be able to read the signs, read the symbols that are in these. Oh, I noticed the flickering went away after I started my generator. So while it was running on the battery, they've already lasted 13,000 years at least. They ain't been mammoths for, some people say 10, but what people get confused is they say 10,000, 11,000 BC, and people think that's 10,000. No, BC was 2,000 years, so you got to add 2,000. Anything that's BC, you got to add 2,000 to it. So 11,000 becomes 13,000. So, somewhere up there about 13,000 years ago. That's cool there. CYA. Cover your ass. Cover whose ass? You know. Uh, you shouldn't have to cover your ass if there weren't people out there trying to sue everybody. Oh, you said this, and so I'm going to sue you. You know. Yeah. Forrest Fenn created this treasure hunt to get people out and enjoy the wilderness. You know. Yeah, shit happens sometimes to some people that do stupid things. Um, but that's not Forrest's fault. That's their fault for not properly preparing for what they were going to get involved with. You don't go buy a swimming pool raft to go float down a river. There's just amazing, amazing stuff all over in these. You can see the figures going across there. Oh, it's just bad, 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 cool. So this is the thrill. The thrill is this ancient archaeology. The thrill of finding that arrowhead, and that triggered him to think about the past and the person that made it, and what was he shooting at that left it here. And here these people left all this sculpture and artwork to tell us about. Look at that. That's just a badass crowd of people there. Oh, yeah, that was a cool face, too. Look at this. Oh, it's amazing. Look at this guy laying in here. I should have a long pointer stick so I don't get my hand in the picture. We have a pen. I can use this pointer. Oh, forked. Yeah, that was the one. See the guy laying down there. CYA, KWS. Yeah, yeah. Nobody's gonna sue me over it because they won't know what country to find me in. I am here. We can begin now. Oh yeah. Well, I've been going along for an hour and a half already. You can see there's figures. See the person standing on the end, the head, and another person next to him. But because that's not the end, it just curves around the corner and it continues on around that bend. Oh, these are nice. That's bad, bad, bad. That's cool. And so I don't have to be a good painter. All I have to do is be a good photographer. And they have digital stuff nowadays. You just tell the thing to, hey, paint it like Picasso or paint it like Van Gogh or paint it like, you know, and it goes, okay, if I was that artist, I'd paint it like this. The computer does it. It's and it's made to take people's faces and stuff and art enhance them. Some of them have my posters. A couple of them do. You know, because people they want to know, where are the Mammoth Temples of Colorado? I can't find it on a map. It's not on a map. I know where they are. This is my trove. You want to seek my trove, you got to get a hold of me. This Forrest Fenn's trove. This guy's cool. Those figures in it. It's just amazing how much. Dirk the Daring, is that a good idea? Also, Fine Art America would be another. Um, I've there's a gallery in New York. My plan was after I finish this season of searching to uh, try to head east and go talk to some galleries in New York City about an exhibition, because this is I could fill a hall. I can't print them too large, because things just you want as high a resolution as you can when you print your art. These images I can print 4 foot by 3 foot, and they'd be high definition. Uh, yeah. Um, yeah, I give RF Hecky some very good tips, but they're stuck on on Montana's bold theory. Montana's bold theory. Yellowstone's bold. No, Treasure is bold. Yellowstone is not. Colorado is subtle. Yellowstone is bold. New Mexico is bold. Wyoming is bold because it's Yellowstone. Montana is bold because they had so many events there. Colorado's not bold because he only lightly mentioned it when he mentions the um, gotta remember the name of that location again in Colorado. Not Chaco. I keep going to thinking Chaco Canyon, but and when I mention Chaco Canyon, I realize it's Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde is where the beads came from in the bracelet. Biggest shoes you must know. Nothing about ancient art. Biggest shoes. Yeah, biggest shoes? You don't know. Yeah. You call it pareidolia? Anybody call it, I've already said, anybody calls it pareidolia, I call them an asshole. An idiot. You're an idiot if you're calling it pareidolia. Pareidolia is not this structured and not this intense, not this saturated. Uh, yeah, biggest shoes. That's like biggest shoes. Biggest shoes. That reminds me of what was that in Monty Python and the Life of Brian. biggest dickus. Yeah, yeah. If he's got the biggest shoes, he must have the biggest dickish. Or he is the biggest dickish to be the biggest shoes. Uh, Sorry, biggish, but when you accuse me of not knowing that this is ancient archaeology, trying to prescribe a psychiatric evaluation when this is Mount Rushmore. You never been around Rushmore, right? Then you wouldn't know what you're talking. You won't. You want to know what Mount Rushmore looks like after 14,000 years? Here it is. You call it pareidolia, you are insulting me. That's an insult. Yeah. Ha ha. Yeah, there are some pretty smart people over there in the UK. Some very smart people. You call it pareidolia and you're insulting me. This is ancient archaeology. You call it pareidolia, you're insulting Forrest Fenn too. Because Forrest Fenn knows what this is. Just watch the video with him at San Lazaro with Suzanne Summers. And he hands her a little rock. And he says, "Look, it's Georgia O'Keeffe." That was a clue he was giving. Find a good-looking rock. I don't know if Georgia O'Keeffe, I don't even know what Georgia O'Keeffe looked like. So, but maybe she wasn't good looking. Or maybe he was calling her a rock. Some of these pictures, it's hard to see things because I take a picture of the whole thing so I can make a panorama. So you'll see the figures and easy to pick out some of them. And some of them, you see the stone pile here and the cone thing going. Those were constructed. But they did carve some of these that are just laying on the ground. And heads, top of the head sticking out of the ground and stuff. And I think tomorrow I'll work on editing my search, my thing from today. I can't. Is it with Toby? What? Who? Oh,